So if you can see this more like art or poetry, art and poetry doesn't really have a certain meaning per se. You know, it's just an expression, or it can be a pointing to something. But really, as we've heard many times throughout life, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and so is truth, because it can be very personal. Now, this message is not personal. You could say it comes from an impersonal space that's appearing as a person. Yeah. And that's already what's arising with everything. So this message isn't directive. It's not an authority. I'm not a teacher. You can call me that if you like. It's okay. Just see this more as a reflection. Yeah. It's something you already know intuitively. And when we're talking about intuition, I know that can be kind of otherworldly. Yeah. Because we're so embodied and conditioned to think through the mind, so to speak, to feel embodied, to use beliefs, to use concepts, to use logic, to use time and linearity. And I got to say, this is not a linear space. It's not a logical space. It will appear linear. It will appear to make sense. But all of this is chaos appearing orderly. All of it. So there's no need to understand what I'm pointing to here, because what I'm pointing to here is everything already, whatever is arising, whatever is seeming to appear. And I say appearance because all of this is an appearance, including thoughts, emotions, the body, the trees, the phone, the laptop, whatever you're on, everything's an empty, full appearance. Yeah. Now, that can be harbored as a belief system. And most beings hold non-duality or this type of message on a mental plane, so to speak, as like a belief or a philosophy, as a way to be applied to your life. This actually can't be brought down and applied to anyone's life, like therapy or, yoga or something like that. This can't be applied to someone's life to make it better. So this message isn't trying to sell you a better life, trying to make your life better. That would be therapy, of course, and there's nothing wrong with that, because as long as there is a sense of separation, as long as there's feeling you're in control, therapy makes sense. Duh. I mean, it totally makes sense, right? Yes. So there's nothing wrong with that. But the message here is there's only divinity appearing as people. There's no separate doer. There's no separate controller, which means there's no free will and choice, because there's actually no person. There's just characters, we could say. There's just characters. And characters go, let's say, far beyond humans. It's also the pups, the butterflies, the birds, cockroaches, ticks, mosquitoes. It's all of these things are characters, but it's singular. It's the one life force appearing as all. The one life force appearing as the parasite sucking your blood, the one life force appearing as the hawk devouring the mouse, the one life force appearing as the beautiful black rat snake climbing up the tree. It's all the boundless mystery appearing as that. And of course, these are all labels. And there's nothing wrong with labels. The message of non-duality is not saying labeling is wrong. That's how we seem to communicate. What we're saying, though, is it's not an end-all be-all. It's not a final truth. It's a play of light. So just because we call a snake doesn't mean it's actually a snake. It doesn't know it's a snake. We call it the snake. It's just itself. It's just itself. Same with these characters. Naturally, itself. But what can seem to arise in the dream of I am is a contracted energy of this is how you should be. This is who you are. This is your name tag. This is how a female speaks, how a female walks and talks. This is how a male should be, right? In all of these things, and there's categories, there's file cabinets. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just an experience in a play. But that dream is very constricted and it's very limited because one is trying to live by the rule book of somebody else. Okay, this is what it's like to be enlightened or to be a good person or to be a woman or to be a male or to whatever the story is. It's always about a trying and an efforting to be. And what we're speaking about here is just simply being life. No one trying to do it, no one efforting, no one wondering, am I doing life fully? Is this what life wants from me? Life only wants to be you. And that's something that I've always said, that this character has always shared, is life only wants to be you. Otherwise, it wouldn't appear as you. And this includes your crankiness, your preferences, your quirks, whatever seems to be arising that someone else may have said, hey, that's not okay, or you should get rid of it. All of that is so perfect. All of it. You see, because the dream and what we're sold on the spiritual path, or even the therapeutic path, is you can reach this. It's outside of yourself. You can reach a higher state of consciousness. You can reach God. You can reach heaven. You can reach paradise. There is no reaching in this message. This is paradise already. And paradise includes what we would call darkness and light, negative and positive, good and bad. And truly, excuse me, there's really no one there who has a heavy meaning of what good or bad is anymore. All that kind of starts to lose its gravity. You see, there's preferences, but there's no one there's like, oh yeah, that's awful or whatever. It's like, what does that even mean? What does resistance mean? What do these things really mean anymore? Because all of this is unknowable. Everything already is unknowable. But the dream of I am is I know why this is happening. I know I am here. I know it's up to me, and I know it's my fault. Or if it's not my fault, it's somebody else's fault. There's just a really intense sense of knowing. But what one comes to see or recognize intuitively is everything we think we know is a hand-me-down. And again, that's just not wrong. It's just what seems to arise. So even seeking, even feeling like a person, doing tons of practices, trying to reach what already is, that's still liberation appearing as that. That's still enlightenment appearing as that. That's still divinity appearing as trying to find divinity. It's just a dog chasing its own tail, so to speak, but it's not wrong. So today we can talk about this energy of I, of person, of choice, of becoming. What can seem to arise here today is maybe beliefs can get contracted. They can also just seem to dissolve. They can just poof, whoa, where did my shit go? Where did my problems go? Where did it go? Because it's not real already, you see? And so there's nothing wrong with thoughts. There's nothing wrong with emotions. In fact, there's nothing wrong with anything. And when liberation is dawned, meaning it's seen, the person is seen through, the whole chase, the whole seeking is seen through, there's not a change. There's not this massive change. That's what the position of the person's looking for. Okay, where's the change? I'm looking for some kind of quality and emotion. Where's the change? Is it coming? Okay, I guess I'll just keep doing what I'm doing until there's an event. And I hear this a lot in sessions. I guess I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And what we're saying here is there's no you doing anything. Waiting implies time, which is an illusion. Waiting implies there's a tomorrow where an event may happen. There won't be an event. There's no light coming for you. Grace isn't going to descend down upon you. This is already grace appearing as you. And so there's our little introduction for today. And so we can ask questions if they arise naturally. If there's anything you'd like to express, that's beautiful. Nothing's off limits and there's no stupid questions, okay? But if there's some bashfulness or, that's okay too. Just ask it in the chat box anonymously, no problem, all right? All right, we got a question from Liz, so I'm gonna start with that one. Hi, Anna. I struggle a lot with the teachings of accept what arises and don't resist reality. Because how do I know what is real versus my own illusions and lies that come from my perception and assumptions of reality? I create a lot of illusions and lies in my own head. So how do I know if I am just accepting my own illusions and delusions? A lot of what is arising is just a side effect of my own delusions. Even the now moment seems to include my own mental delusions. I struggle a lot with the teachings of accept what arises. It's a teaching. You can't accept what is. You also can't choose to resist it. So the teachings of acceptance and surrender are about someone believing they have free will and choice to do that. Hence the huge frustration. And in the story of Anne, I used to follow these teachings and I would get so frustrated. The frustration would arise. Why can I let this go? But so-and-so can do it so easily. Why can I not let this go? Okay, I'm just trying to accept. I'm just trying to accept. And it just felt like sandbags on the body because no one's asking you to do that but a teacher. See, naturally, everything's already accepted. Pain, pleasure, catalyst, whatever is arising, whatever you want to label what is, it's naturally accepted. Otherwise, it wouldn't be arising. This includes the appearance of seeking. This includes the appearance of mental commentary, thoughts, emotions. It's already accepted. Otherwise, it wouldn't be appearing. What we're literally saying here is there is no free will. The teachings of acceptance and surrender are talking to a person as if they're holding on to something and they can choose to let it go. And they make beautiful bumper stickers and t-shirts. But if we could all truly accept and let it go, wouldn't we? Wouldn't that happen? Wouldn't that arise? You see, this is already perfect. This message is totally yin and yang already, saying if there's a thought form, you're not thinking that thought form. If there is an emotion, you're not feeling or choosing that emotion to arise. It's all spontaneous. I like to use the analogy of fireworks in the night sky. They're just arising and poof, poof. Some are tiny, some are little duds that don't even make it, some are boom, huge, but they collapse into the void, the absolute abyss of nothingness. In fact, thoughts themselves and emotions themselves are nothing. They're wonderfully nothing. They have no substance to them, but they seem like there's substance. And those teachings seem like they're very, very powerful when there's a person there who feels separate and is coming from the position that they need to do something. So the position of the person is always, I need to do something first. What must I change? Because it's always living in that cause and effect. If I do this, then this will come forth. And we're saying that's just a game. It's just a dream. You don't need to do anything. This is already harmony appearing. But that struggle for the person is trying to make its life better. That's why it's allured by those teachings, seemingly. It is a dream. Even the whole teacher-student relationship's a dream, and it ends when it ends, so to speak. And it is a paradox because seeking actually never began. And what's obvious is when liberation dawns for no one, so to speak, is that whole game of seeking, all of the practices, all the trying to get it right, it's seen as real and unreal, like it never happened, almost like a dream at night. So you can recall it, there can be some residual energies, but it's seen as ephemeral, seen as transient. But you're right, what we're calling even the now will seem to be diluted by personal identity if there's someone there trying to micromanage and control. And what we're really saying here is there is no control. All right, I got a message here. Where can we hear your interview with Will last Wednesday? I missed it. Yes, I wasn't the host for that, so I don't have access to the recording yet. Will is supposed to be sending it to me once he's got it edited, but I do know he's on a trip. He was supposed to be out of town for like a week or something like that. So as soon as I get it, I will post it to Patreon, okay? Now, Liz, if you want to go deeper, feel free to chat more in the chat box or unmute yourself. But I'm going to move on to the next one, okay? Okay, radiance. So clinging to memories, thoughts, feelings, sensations, and fears is the normal course of perception. The authentic observer sees without identifying with anything as being itself. The absolute, that which is all there is, remains free and without comparisons or contrast in and of itself. Itself being indiscernible present awareness, right? I just rather not use the word awareness. Awareness implies someone looking and other. Same with consciousness. No word is right or wrong, of course, but there can be a heavy definition under awareness. A lot of spiritual teachers use the word awareness. It can be very sticky. Same with ego. There isn't an ego. There is no awareness. There's a seeing. It's not personal. It's a seamlessness. There's a seamlessness. There's not a two-ness of what's being seen. Because with awareness, I see a sense, a lot of that kind of like inquiry, a sense of detachment sometimes. So it depends on how you label awareness. But I know awareness can have really heavy definitions. But there is seeing. No one sees, though. Air in my mouth. Yeah, because what you find out with self-inquiry is, you're left with not knowing what's looking, kind of a thing. It's kind of a detachment. There's still like a knowing, right? In a sense of awareness or observation, pulling back, which can feel liberating, which can feel enlightening, because you're pulling back. And this message, is totally being in the world and not of it. No one's trying to observe, accept, or there's none of that kind of oscillation, forcing kind of thing going on. It's just a seamlessness naturally. Thoughts can arise, emotions can arise. No one's really interested. Nor is there any kind of idea of, okay, I need to watch that now, watch that thought, watch that emotion, watch that belief. There's none of that going on, because I like to see that too, is almost like micromanaging kids or babysitting children that are not yours. They're just spontaneously arising. But self-consciousness, self-awareness will arise when there's a sense of separation, and it's very vigilant. It's hyper vigilant. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Patricia, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think you already answered it. So do you have do your realizations, understandings change? Are they changing all the time?
No.
Okay, see, it's so much I don't understand.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So if like beliefs and perceptions are changing, there's a person there that's flipping things. It can seem that way, right? That's why like spirituality and therapy can seem really alluring and powerful, because if I change my beliefs, I can change my perception and have a new experience. Yeah, that's still the gambit.
Realization, same thing as beliefs.
I wouldn't say that. I would say what we're talking about here is more of an intuitive recognition, but it has nothing to do with beliefs, because beliefs are for the person. They're like, It's kind of like changing clothes. Oh, well, today I'll wear this and I feel really cool or whatever. It's a costume in a sense. No one's choosing the beliefs either, though. I have to be honest with that. If there's a person there, though, they're going to want to have new beliefs. They're going to want to try to change them. They're constantly like focused here, and that's why the whole power thought movement's really attractive. If I change my thoughts, if I do these things, then I can manifest a new reality. Now, what I can share here is there is a deepening or a broadening, so to speak, kind of like when a shutter opens.
That's what I really meant. I'm just not good with words.
It's okay. Okay, we'll see. Look, we're unfolding together naturally. See, we hit the nail on the head. So cute. It can deepen seemingly, but I like to see it more like it's the petals of the flower opening and revealing already what was. It's not you becoming, it's not you attaining new realizations. It's not you becoming more conscious, all of these different words. That's about knowledge. There can just seem to be like a relaxation or an opening into it, but it's not moving. It's not going anywhere. That centerpiece of the flower was already what is. It's just opening.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Kind of similar to your eyelids being closed and then you open them. It's not like the eyeball just appeared. You know what I mean? Like the eyeball was there, so to speak. It's just opening the eyelids.
Okay.
Yeah. It's already
Awesome.
was. It already was. It already
Yeah.
is. Yeah. It
Yeah.
just, when it seems like the person's there, it's like a shroud, or it's like the eyelids in a sense. It is one thing though. It's all oneness. Like, so like in the spiritual paradigm, it's like the eyelids are the ego, and oh my God, we got to annihilate the ego because can't be part of the whatever. It's all one beautiful magical mystery. The eyelids, the eye, the body, everything is this magnificence appearing as that. It's not something you add on. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Thanks, Patricia.
Mhm.